Greetings everyone, this is Longnu, and today I'm going to be talking about animals in Buddhism and what they represent. So animals in Buddhism are an important part of Buddhism and embodies the idea that everything that is alive possesses an inherent virtue, power, and wisdom. Animal symbols contain secret meanings related to specific characteristics of the animals they represent and highlight the Buddhist relation to nature, kindness, humanistic ideas, emphasizing the relationship between Buddhist theory and practice. So the first animal we'll begin talking about is the deer. In Buddhism, deer symbolize peace, harmony, and longevity. They are by nature gentle and serene in their presence, represents the purity of a sacred place, bereft of fear. For most, the deer symbolize the Buddha's most essential teachings and the act of receiving them. It was in the deer park that the Buddha gave his first teaching. The Buddha is often shown sitting on a dais with two deer kneeling facing each other. Additionally, many monasteries feature the Dharma wheel with two deer sitting on each side, gazing steadily at the wheel with great joy. Deer are also represented in the Jataka tales, which are attributed to the past lives of the Buddha as human and animal, with messages of wisdom and compassion. Then next we will talk about dragons, which of course I talked extensively about dragons, but we'll just do brief here. So in India, Nagas are water spirits who live in wells, rivers, and lakes and float in clouds. They are depicted as huge cobras or as half human and half snake. They play an important role in Mahayana and Theravada mythology as protectors of the Buddha and the sutras. In one legend, a Naga king named Muchlinda sheltered the Buddha during a heavy rain just after the Buddha's enlightenment. He coiled around the Buddha's body and transformed his hood into an umbrella over the Buddha's head. Buddha statues deities, I should say, that symbolize this legend are famous in Burma, Laos, and Thailand. As Buddhism spread through China, Nagas became identified as dragons. Buddhists offer vases of jewels to Nagas for abundant crops, health, and children, as well as to stop epidemics, earthquakes, and floods. Nagas are vulnerable to contamination by water pollution and deforestation. They will protect people who protect nature, but will breathe toxic air on those who destroy the environment. So this is very significant here. As I've mentioned in my previous videos on dragons are real. They're not a mythological creature like the literatures seem to want to state, but they are actually, in fact, real species of life. And it's interesting to note that they will protect people who protect nature, but will breathe toxic air on those who destroy the environment. This is, in fact, what is going on in the big cities across the world and many places, is that actually dragons are breathing toxic air into the cities. And you can notice this happening. I mean, it takes quite an eye to see it, but I've observed this for so many years that I can see it. But there will be a lot of movement in the clouds, and there will be, you can say, this pumping out of this I call it toxic air pollution, but you can see this being pumped out, and it's not just chemtrail planes that are doing this. It's actually coming from an invisible source to our eyes, but if you have the eyes to see it, you can actually see it. These are dragons in the air, pumping out the toxic air for those who destroy the environment. So that is a reality. Alright, so I'm going to continue on now. Elephant. In Asia and Africa, elephants are deemed sacred. They are symbols of beauty, power, dignity, intelligence, and peace. The white elephant was significant in the Buddha's birth. His mother, Queen Maya, dreamed of a white elephant who offered her a white lotus with his trunk and entered her womb. The royal sages predicted the birth of a great monarch or a Buddha. In Buddhism, elephants symbolize mental strength on the path toward enlightenment. They are tranquil and obedient, steadfast and unstoppable, once set on a path, and have large ears to listen to the Dharma. At the beginning of practice, the uncontrolled mind is symbolized by a gray elephant. After practicing and taming the mind, the controlled mind is symbolized by a white elephant, strong and powerful, which can be directed toward liberation. This is also very interesting because there are 4 white elephants in the universe, directional elephants, facing east, facing west, facing north, and facing south. Universal worthy Bodhisattva rides a 6-husked elephant, evoking the power of knowledge for man's awakening. This is found in chapter 40 of the Flower Adornment Sutra. Next, we're going to talk about the horse. In Buddhism, the horse is a symbol of energy and effort in practicing the Dharma. The main qualities of a horse are loyalty and swiftness, as shown by Kantaka, Siddhartha's horse, who helped him escape the palace and begin his spiritual quest. When Siddhartha bade him farewell, Kantaka died of grief, but was reborn as God and served him as a Buddha. The neigh of the horse is symbolic of the Buddha's voice to awaken the sleepy mind to practice the Dharma. It also represents the prana or breath that is essential for our existence. The mythical wind horse, again, I don't like the word mythical because these things are all real. So the wind horse is a symbol in Tibetan Buddhism. It combines the speed of the wind and the strength of the horse to control the mind and guide it toward liberation. It is often used on prayer flags to carry prayers from heaven to earth. It also bears the wish-fulfilling pearl and represents good fortune to make things go well. Now we'll talk about the lion. For thousands of years, the lion has been a symbol of royalty, strength, and bravery. For these reasons, the lion symbolizes the royal origins of Buddha Shakyamuni, as well as his courage in challenging injustice and alleviating human suffering. He is referred to as Lion of the Shakyas, an acknowledgement of the power of his teachings. The Buddha's voice is often called the lion's roar, roaring out the Dharma for all to hear. The symbolic meaning of the lion's roar reminds us to strive with the courageous heart of the Lion King and overcome obstacles in our path, creating happiness and harmony in our lives and in society. The lions serve as guardians represented in pairs at the entrance of shrines, temples, and monasteries. They are symbolic of the bodhisattvas. The Buddha's lions and can be found in their role of Dharma protectors, supporting the throne of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and serving as their mounts. Manjushri, the Bodhisattva of great wisdom, mounts a lion, symbolized in the Flower Adornment Sutra, Avatamsaka. Now the phoenix. The phoenix is deeply rooted in Chinese and Japanese culture and is used as emblems of the emperor and empress, shown with the dragon to symbolize a perfect marriage. The phoenix is a benevolent bird as it does not harm insects and represents the Confucian values of loyalty, honesty, decorum, and justice. In Buddhism, the phoenix is regarded as a sacred as it appears only in times of peace and prosperity and hides itself when there's trouble. Like the deer, it symbolizes peace and tranquility. The mythical creature, again, I don't like that word mythical, the creature can also represent an enlightened one, rising from the ashes of the death of ego. A common depiction of the phoenix is of it attacking snakes with its talons and its wings spread. It has a bird's beak, a swallow's jaw, and a snake's neck. The front half of its body is thought to resemble a giraffe, the back half of a deer. Its back resembles a tortoise, and its tail is like a fish. The phoenix, also one of the 4 spiritual creatures in Chinese, who guard the 4 directions and seasons, is dragons, tigers, unicorns, and phoenix. Now we will talk about the peacock. In Buddhism, the peacock represents wisdom and is associated with the bodhisattvas. The tail of a peacock spreads out around him with its azure eyes, symbolizes the rise of the 1,000 arms of Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara and his 1,000 eyes. Peacocks are the fatal enemy of snakes, killing them with their talons and eating them without any harmful effects. It is said that the peacock transforms the poison into amrita or nectar. Similarly, a bodhisattva is able to transform ignorance into enlightenment, desire into generosity, and hatred into compassion. When a person has positive thoughts, his mind becomes open like a peacock, opening his tail and exhibiting its beautiful colors. The peacock is one of the most important birds created by transformation in the Amitabha Sutra, as it supports the throne of Buddha Amitabha of the Western Pure Land. And that is the end of the animals in Buddhism. So, next time you see any of these animals, you can be thinking about what they represent in Buddhism. So, I will continue on. My next talk is going to be another aspect of Buddhism. So, I won't reveal what that aspect is at this moment, but it will be something related. All right, thanks for listening, everyone. You all have a beautiful, blessed day.